Boss Up by Lindsay Teague Moreno. This was a book that I was reading for the month of November. And I can honestly say that this book, every woman who wants to start a business, who's been scared to venture out into the unknown, should get a copy of this book. The reason I say this is because one of the reasons that I was able to begin my YouTube channel, the Mawia Gichuhi, was because of reading this book, Boss Up. I really like this book because it talked about having the courage to do what you know deep down you are called to do, but not really knowing how to get there. And I remember when I was starting this channel, first and foremost, disclaimer, I'm a very private person, introverted, and coming out to this channel was, for me, such a big leap of faith. And it felt so scary starting the channel and just coming out in the open to share about all the lessons that I was learning from my favorite books, and that being Proverbs and current books that I was reading. And when I read this book, one of the things that I loved about Boss Up was the fact that she was telling us that, you know what, do you, and don't think about what society currently is telling you is the biggest trend or is the best thing to do. I remember like when I was thinking about now, why would I want to start my YouTube channel? And she was just encouraging us that you have a message. You have a message that is deep within you. And even if that message will be sent out to one person, even that if that message will be sent out to two people, and in those and the message and the lessons that you share with these one or two people, if they make an impact, then you will have served your purpose, rather than hiding in the shadows and always wondering what if my message actually made a difference. And I honestly knew I had something to share, but I just didn't know what I wanted to share. And she was like, just do the thing that you really are passionate about. And to be honest, every day, without a shadow of fail, from I think high school, my mother taught me to read the book of Proverbs. She always said, you know what, Proverbs has 31 books, chapters, and if you fail even reading Mark, John, Revelation, at least you'll say you've read one chapter the whole year. And that was so encouraging for me because Proverbs wasn't so loaded of a book when I began reading it. It wasn't like, thou shalt go to hell, thou shalt not go into heaven. And I was like, it was digestible. And the more I read it, the more I could feel like this book really helped me mature in my Christian faith. And I sat there and I just asked myself, she was saying in the book, do that thing which you love. And I was like, you know what? I love reading the book of Proverbs. Not that I don't read other books, but every day, there are 31 chapters. There's always a chapter for every day. And I was like, you know what? I do this every day. Why not share this message to the world, or a lesson that I learned from the book of Proverbs? And it clicked so instantaneously. And another reason why I like this book is I was like, you know what? You will never be able to please everyone. You will not be able to please the Mother Teresa's. You will not be able to please people who are followers of Kardashians, Nelson Mandela, surfboarders, travelers, makeup artists. You'll just have a message for you. I know that, yes, that the book of the Bible has so many books. It has Mark, it has John, it has Matthew, it has Hebrews, it has Acts. There are so many books in the Bible, but I chose to do Proverbs, and she encouraged me. You know what? There's someone out there who will be told by God to focus on the book of Hosea. Someone out there will be told to focus on the book of Leviticus. Another person will be told to focus on the book of Revelation. And for me, those books, even though I read them and I love them, they're not books that I would read consistently every day. And at something else, I just love reading. Every time I have extra money in my pocket, rather than run to a shoe shop or run to the salon, I will always just run to a bookshop. Even when I was in high school, I just wanted to be in the library. And the type of reading that I love reading is not academic, deep chemistry, biology, mathematics type of studying. I just like books that talk about life, how to improve life, how can you become better. So basically, I found generally I was drawn to the books of self-help. And And I would really like to encourage anyone that whatever it is that you're passionate about, be cooking, be it about hair, be it about shoes, be it about painting, sunrises, sunsets, whatever it can be, you are the one who knows yourself. And God placed that desire deep within you. And when he placed that desire within you, he knew that he would give you the tools needed for you to go forward. And let me tell you, when I got this book, the funny story about Boss Up, I was walking in Prestige Bookshop in town near on Mamangina Street near 20th Century, and I was like, you know what? I just want a book to read for this month. And I was walking through the shelves. I really get lost in the shelves. I just noticed a book that was slightly tilted out of the shelf, and it was colorful. You can see the pinks, yellows, and everything. I was like, that's such a interesting cover, and the feel of this book is matte. Something else I loved about this book. So I was like, oh, let me read the back. And as I read the back, I was just drawn to it. I honestly did not know. Prestige Bookshop is not a Christian bookshop, but they do have a Christian section. But this book, I did not get it in the Christian section. And when I began reading it, I didn't know that she was a believer. And I loved the fact that everything she was saying resonated to her faith. She has a business that deals with essential oils, and she does multi-level marketing, and she was just encouraging women in this book that they need to boss up, they need to step up in their businesses or in whatever that it is that they have set out to do. And I loved how she was talking about finding your thing, and that's what I just talked about, finding the thing that you're passionate about, finding that thing that you love and doing it, be it baking, if you love baking, if you love talking about puppies. Nowadays in Instagram, Facebook, you will find all manner of things, and people are succeeding with anything that they love. And another thing that she wrote about this book was thinking long term. When you think about, when you project your mind 20, 30, 40 years from now, what can you honestly say that you love doing? Even when I'm doing this YouTube channel, it's not that it's the only thing I'm doing. I have my own other business. I have different streams of income. And this for me was a passionate. And when she said, think about what you'll be doing 20, 30, 40 years. Honestly speaking, I didn't see myself 40 years from now hustling in town, hustling in a CBD, delivering projects, because I'm in the printing, branding industry, running from one event to the other, meeting clients or client needs. I honestly saw myself 40 years from now having written a book, because I love reading. I haven't yet done it, but somewhere down the line, I know it will manifest. And I could see myself at 70 years when I'm taking care of my grandchildren, sharing with them the lessons that I've learned in life, writing a book about the things that I've learned in life about, or just the topic that I know the book is not for right now, but I know that it will come. And as I was pondering on that idea, and then it made perfect sense to just start recording episodes of lessons that I have learned, stories that just fascinate me about life. And that kind of thinking, long term thinking, is what, for me personally, encouraged me to start this channel. And I will encourage you, take time, sit down, think long term. What can you honestly see yourself doing 40, 30, 20 years from now? You could be in the banking field, but honestly, banking is not in your mindset 40 years from now. That thing that you keep thinking about doing, and you've been thinking about it. You know, life is so funny. You think it's starting now, but it's always been there. When I was a child, my mother would always buy me books. I think at 5 years, even currently right now, when I think about treating my children, I only think about buying them books. When like Big Bad Wolf came to Kenya the other day, I ran to that suicide center like I was being paid, like I was itching to spend my money, and the things I would spend my money on for my children were books. So you find this thing is already in your system. It's painting, it's craft, it's whatever it is that you like. And then telling stories. Okay, I may be an introvert. I'm part introverted, part extroverted. So yes, I can be talkative, but only around people that I'm comfortable about. So I was like, you know what? Let me share these stories of lessons I've learned, things I'm reading or experiences that I'm having. And that makes sense. And so some of the tips that you're sharing on this book was about, and I know you've heard them from so many other areas, but it's consistency and putting your positive pants and understanding your why. There are so many others, but those three are the ones that I wanted to focus on. Understanding your why. Once you understand your why, then you know you're not being a copycat of anyone. You're just doing what's true to you and what's genuine to you. I love how there's so many comedians in Kenya, and when you look at the different styles that these comedians have, they're so unique to themselves, and that's what makes them stand out. There's not just one comedian in Kenya, there are so many, and each and every one of those comedians has their own target audience, knows why they're doing what they're doing, and that's what makes them thrive and succeed. And then brand consistency. There's this quote that I really, really love, and it's the only cheat code is consistency. Okay, I'm not 100% perfect in consistency, but I am trying. And one of my goals for 2023 is to be consistent with my posting, consistent with my videos, and consistent in even my work projects at work, calling clients, following up on tenders that I've done, following up on applications that I've done in my own personal business. These are the things that I really want to do. Consistency, consistency. It's not about being perfect, but just ensuring that if you said Monday is my day, Monday is going to be your day. And I have had this concept from so many authors. And I think the reason why it's repeated so many times is because it's actually a genuine principle of success. And those who make it are those who believe in their dreams and keep on attending to it. The last principle that she shared that was so amazing for me was putting on your positive pants. And why this was important is because I know social media can be brutal. I know being online can be brutal. People can hate on you. People can give you negative messages. But you know what? I said, you know what, Lord? If you have called me, because I know He's the one who gave me this message and this desire to share every lesson and that I'm learning in my life. I was like, Lord, you know what? I'm putting my positive pants, and my positive pants are Holy Spirit, protect me, help me to know that my calling is on you. And that even encouraged me when I thought about Jesus, even despite performing miracles, even despite making the blind see, there were still haters. And those haters were not people from outside, they were within the church, the Pharisees, people close to him. And they'll be like, now what is this chick doing? What is she trying to achieve? But you know what? 20, 30, 40 years, my children will be looking at these recordings, and I pray that these messages will bless them. It will bless someone in the course of life, not just my children alone, but a message of hope and knowing that, you know what, we are all in this together and we are growing together. So one of the things I will encourage you, if you can get a copy of this book or any other book, may we make 2023 the year that is coming a year of reading, a year of growth, a year of consistency, and a year of putting on our positive pants in everything that we do.